documenting the front lines of the AI revolution, the AI Rebels podcast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the AI Rebels podcast. We are very excited to have Aytekin Tank here with us, the CEO of Jotform, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard of, if not used or currently using Jotform. Very successful, really great mission that we're excited to talk about, and some very exciting new developments and products that are in the works. Thanks for coming on, Aytekin.
Hey, Jacob. Hey, Spencer. I'm glad to be on your show. I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
We're excited as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Aytekin, can you give us a little background on you, your journey, particularly your journey to AI, where you've been and where you're going?
Yeah, my journey is actually a pretty long journey now. It's been 18 years since I started Jotform. So before Jotform, I was working for this media company, and and I was a programmer. I was this developer, and one of my duties was to create forms. Like we had over 100 websites, and I was creating all kinds of forms, like contact forms, surveys, questionnaires, like contest entry forms, things like that. And I kind of hated it. I wanted to find a way to get rid of it. Like I tried to find a product that can actually take this away from me, but I couldn't find one. That's why I decided to start Jotform. So 2005 summer, I just walked upstairs and told my boss, I'm starting my own business, and then the next day I started working on Jotform, and it's been long time, almost
Wow.
2 decades now. And so Jotform has grown now 25 million users and offices in 7 different locations, and 700 employees. So it's pretty big now, and we help people create forms, and so far 50 million forms were created with Jotform.
Wow.
And just we help people with automating things, not just forms, but we see forms as just the first step in the journey, right? So when you fill out a form, your goal is not to just fill out a form. It's you are trying to get something done, right? You are trying to register for an event. You are trying to apply for something. You are trying to contact someone. You are trying to buy something or something. People fill out forms because they have a workflow. They have something to be done, a task they need to be done.
Yeah.
And so because we see our goal as our job is to help people automate these things, over the years we have developed all these additional products, you can have this workflow, you can have approvals, you can generate documents, you can we have a e-signature product as well. We have so many products, but basically we are still doing that form stuff, and then once people actually need anything additional, we have all these additional products to help them out. But then this actually brought us with the new AI revolution. It's just what's the next step? When we look at the next step, it's the AI. And so a year and a half ago, after I had my third child, I took some time off, and this was 2 years ago. And during this downtime, and I was just looking at what was happening around, and I saw the AI, and and I have during my career, I always heard about AI, just AI is going to be the next hot thing. But this time, it was very clear that AI is real this time. It's not some toy. It's just something real, and it's really useful. And you can really build products on top of it. It was very clear. We have been trying GPT before the ChatGPT, and we have seen that. But with the ChatGPT, it was even more clear. And the thing is, you might have a technology, but people will not use that technology until consumers actually use that technology.
Right.
Right. So it's personal computers, right? People started using them at home, and then businesses, everybody started using them. If you look at mobile phones as well, people first used it personally, and then they also use it for business as well. So with the AI, I think with ChatGPT, people are now starting to get used to using ChatGPT, like, every day, like, when we are doing homework, when we are working, with my kids, like when we
Yeah.
are trying to stuff, like they're actually asking all their questions to ChatGPT, and like with the voice mode, I don't know if you use it. It's just so
Hmm.
easy, like just talk to
Yeah.
it, and then they're constantly asking questions to ChatGPT and just getting all these great answers and learning. And it's not like just cheating for the homework. I think it's like it's real research. It's not like they're really learning stuff, and they're whenever like when I was a kid, I didn't have a computer, I didn't have internet. So when I
Yeah.
had a question, like I had to, I had no way, like I had to ask around, or I needed to find an encyclopedia and like maybe go to a library research. Like it was very, very difficult. But now, like, you can just click on a button, ChatGPT, and then ask like, what is the, ask your question and get an answer. And now that
Crazy.
consumers are now used to like really using I think it's just time for like businesses to also use AI.
Hmm.
So I was thinking about that, and during that downtime when I had my third child, so I was thinking about like what can we do at Jotform so that like um, instead of forms, what can replace forms? Like, can we replace forms with AI? Right? Can we disrupt our own business? I've been
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
about that, but at that time I actually didn't figure that out. But I knew that the answer was AI. So a year and a half ago, so we already had these AI engineers in our team, like because we have been dealing with all these like phishing, spam, all this like machine learning stuff to be able to catch the bad guys. So I took them and I said, okay, let's start building something with AI. I don't know what the product is going to be. Like, just let's just build a copilot for the form builder, right? Just like people can chat with the AI and then build their forms. And so that's how we started. Like, just build this. Like, you go to the chatbot, you ask like, I need a form like this. It creates the form. So we released that to like a small number of users, and then people were actually liked it, but they actually wanted more. So
Mm.
we actually moved this chatbot into the product, into the form builder. So you can actually talk to it, and then you can build your form instead of using like the regular tool. You can just talk to the chatbot, and then it actually does the stuff for you. So that was also going well. Right at this time, like we started thinking about like how can we make this use this all over Jotform, like all of Jotform products,
Hmm.
and then and we started talking about agents. Like, what if we had agents that can actually do different things, right? What if they can communicate with each other? And that actually brought us the idea that we are working on right now, which is Jotform AI agents. Basically, so as soon as we discovered that, like, okay, really people are writing, like, really love to talk to chatbots and describe what they need, and then we discovered the idea for agents, that it was very clear to me, like the solution, like that product that's going to replace forms is actually like a chatbot, basically that can actually fill the form for you,
Mm.
answer your
Yeah.
questions. And so that's why we called it Jotform AI agents. And so like that journey started with like 3 people. Now 120 people are actually working on that product.
Wow.
And it's like, we are a company of teams. Like, so there are like, usual teams are like 5 to 6 people. Like, so around 20 teams are working on this product.
Incredible.
And we are going to release it in February, and we call it Jotform AI agents. And it's basically about replacing your forms with these AI agents that can like do all these things for you. Like, they can the AI can talk to the user, fill out the form for the user, like just by conversation, by answering, asking questions, answering questions. But most importantly, it can actually answer questions. Like, it's not just like filling out the form, but it's also, whatever,
Mm.
because you can build this knowledge base. You can actually enter data, you can upload files, you can give your website. So basically, you are pre-programming the AI. You're training your AI to be able to answer questions about your business, whatever the form is about, and that's just the beginning. Like just the not just fill out forms or like answer questions. Like what else AI can do? Like can the AI actually have the knowledge about the customer so it can do things for them, like
Yeah.
answer specific personalized questions for them. So that part is probably not going to be released in February, but the basic parts about like the answering questions and filling out forms is going to be released in February, and I'm really excited about this. I feel like the AI agents are kind of the future because
Hmm.
imagine a world. Okay, let's imagine a world where everyone has their own like AI agents, right?
Yeah.
It's like your clone of yourself, or every business, every organization have AI agents. And let's say you are in the middle of the night, right? Maybe you need to talk to your school. Maybe you need to talk to some business, ask a question, right? Like you can actually talk to their AI and then find out accurate information quickly in
Hmm.
whatever like medium you prefer. Like if you want to talk to them on the phone, you talk to them on the phone. If you want to like just text them, you can text to them.
Wow. Yeah.
Or if you want to, just write to a chatbot, you can also write on their website or just directly to them and on any kind of like a messaging platform. So the idea is that basically, you can do customer support, you can do sales, you can, all kinds of things that involve
Hmm.
people communicating with people can be handled with AI. So this is the challenge that we try to tackle, and I think we are going so well. And the beta users are actually showing us like people actually like it, they use it, and they are really
Hmm.
excited about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I want to make a quick point here about Jotform, which is that I think a lot of potentially many of our viewers who do not have experience doing web development really underestimate just how annoying forms are to build and maintain. They are notoriously one of the most annoying things to deal with in web development. So Jotform has already probably saved developers, several hundred lives worth of work hours. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that. And this is a really cool evolution of that, because
Yeah.
it changed the form builders from the web developers to your communications team or whoever, and now it's reducing that friction even further, and that's what's so exciting about this world. It's like there's so many pieces of automation that we built over the last 15, 20 years or so for computers that are now even more effective and even more broadly applicable with AI.
Yeah.
It's incredible to watch.
Yeah. It really is, and I feel like things companies like Jotform are honestly what have allowed the innovation and progression of the tech space. I mean, the human race in general. But because you think of like our brains, if you're busy as a web developer, if you're like, oh man, I got to build these forms, that brain capacity is taken up and you're unable to then think farther down the road. You're unable to innovate. You're just, your brain's taken up. And so things like this are what allow innovation to happen because it frees up brain space. Um,
yeah. I feel like these like AI is kind of like continuation of like this no code like movement, right?
mhm.
So in the past, like the software was very rigid, like there are like very limited things that you could do. With no code, you can actually kind of build your own solutions on top of software, because software is much more flexible. It's less rigid. So you can actually like customize it, build things, and then build. So you don't have to be a programmer to build things. Like you can just
Yeah.
build your own solutions. And Jotform is like just part of this like movement where like these products like allow people to build their own solutions, and AI is just gonna make this even like much more flexible. Just you'll be able to build whatever product you want, and usually people talk about like how you can like AI can write code and then build products. I don't think that feature is like very soon. Like just as a person who have been developing products for millions of people, it's just like even with like very smart people, it's just very hard to build good products. Like just but if you can actually give AI all these like pieces where
Yeah.
fully functional, fully tested pieces, and if it can bring them together, like put them together to build a product, then it's gonna really and then customize those products instead of like writing code from scratch. I think there is you can really build your own products that way. It's just it makes so much sense like that AI can actually put those pieces together, customize those pieces, and then like give you this end product that like exactly does whatever you need.
Yeah.
I think that's a feature in terms of software.
Yeah. So exciting.
Yeah,
Um,
that's.
Go ahead, Spence.
Oh, I was going to say that's. I think something that a good point that a lot of people need to understand about AI right now is that like um, you can go you can go write an app with pure AI code, and you'll get probably 70% of the way there, and then that last 30% is going to be really painful. AI is never going to replace. Well, I'm not going to say never. There's been I can't say that anymore.
Maybe someday.
But yeah, maybe some. But for now, AI is not going to replace just solid engineering principles, and those kind of have to be at the root of products. Anyways, continue, Jake. What were you going to say?
I was gonna ask Aytekin if I know you said it doesn't release until February.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way we could get a sneak peek of
Yeah,
what the
yeah. I
AI
want to
agent
share
product look like?
with the AI Rebels audience. I want to share this product. Let's take a look. Okay.
Awesome.
Let me find.
It's like Christmas.
Okay, so this is not available yet. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you go to this page, it's only available because I'm logged in. But if you go to jotform.com/AI, you are able to actually kind of enter the waitlist and maybe get early access. Um, but let me talk about the product we envision, and then we are actually building. The
Mm-hmm.
basic idea is that like forms are boring, they are slow, they are not. They are boring. Like when you look at these AI agents, like they have faces. You
Mm-hmm.
know that they are not real faces, but it's still like we are human. We
Yeah.
wanna actually look at other like faces. It doesn't have to be human. Like it could
Right.
be
Yeah.
animals as well. Like yeah, just we prefer like personality. We want to talk to someone with a personality as opposed to just this boring form with fields on it. And we wanted to make it so that it's just like it's still easy to use. It's not harder than like a form, but you can actually like you enjoy like having a conversation with this with the AI agent, and like just enjoy talking to like get your questions answered, fill out forms, like upload documents, like do everything you can do with a form, but even better.
Mm-hmm.
So and we are going to have things like agent directory where you will be able to like
Cool.
find specific agent templates like to start with, like just make it easier. But
Mm-hmm.
in general, like you can just start from very early, like just let me just start with this just start an agent from scratch, right? Um, so what kind of agent we can create, right? This is a podcast. I think one of the things we could do is like, what if we did like podcast, right? Survey, maybe survey our you maybe we want to survey the AR Rebels customers. All right, prefers a agent that can, find out if people like the podcast and how we can improve, and find out how to improve it. So, right, let's just whatever we need, like we just type it. Like
Mm-hmm.
instead of thinking about the technology, we just think about whatever we need.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what it's doing behind is like it's creating a form, because that's actually what we do. We are Jotform, but it doesn't like AI agents work without forms as well. Like you can have one form, you can have like no forms, or you can have multiple forms that your AI agent can fill out. But because our like where we are really strong is forms, like we wanted to also create forms. But then this form can also like just it doesn't have to be about just filling out forms, but it's also about answering your questions or taking some actions, right? So we want to give it a personality, like just you can upload pictures, or you can pick an avatar. Like just here, we have something that's like really kind of related to podcasts,
Yeah.
or related to doing a survey. Which one do you prefer?
Lila's good right there.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I was
that
gonna
is
say
good.
too. I
Yeah.
like Lila.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, and then usually when people do chatbots, it's like there's no like pictures, like it's, boring. But our goal was to kind of like replace forms with these conversations, and more like make it more lively. So we want to have like colors, we want to have personality. So it's just like we wanted to build a designer for it, not just focus on like the functionality, but also give it some cool things. And people actually like to put these AI agents as chatbots on their websites. So they want to really be able to like customize the design as well to make it fit. And some people actually upload their pictures here and then just show themselves. And I kind of did that. Like I have a website, aytekintank.com, and I just put there Aytekin AI. And you can just go there and chat with Aytekin AI, and I just put my picture there and made it clear that it's AI they are talking to, though.
Right.
Make sure to they don't get confused. So once we designed it, the next step is kind of like help the AI give answers and take actions. Like just how they would do that with the train tab. So basically, we have a name for the AI. Like we can actually give it a role, podcast improvement analyst, audience engagement advocate, listener experience consultant. Like just pick one, and then like how chatty we want it to be. Like just do. I think we wanted to keep it minimum. Just don't talk too much, and save some time
Get the
as well.
answers.
Yeah. And then here we can actually add our prompt here. Like if you want to like just give some AI some feedback about how they should be, we can just add here, be funny, and make jokes. Right. I mean, usually if you're a business, maybe you don't want this, but maybe if you're a podcaster, maybe this is fine. Yeah. So like language, tone of voice, right? We want it to be maybe friendly is good. Friendly is great. And we can also put knowledge base. We can put information about, this is for the AI Rebels podcast. And, Jacob and Spencer. Right. Jacob and Spencer. I have a microphone in front of me, so it's hard to write. Yeah. Azurkesh, hosted by Jacob and Spencer. So we added some knowledge. We can always, provide a link, provide a, upload a document or Q&A. So actions are more about like, like just instructing the AI agent to do things. These are kind of like tools or the prompts that you could do, but we wanted to make it easy because, like, most of the tools, most of the AI agent tools are kind of giving people like these text areas, and it's really hard to know like what to enter them. So basically, we still give them text areas, like people actually write text, and then from there, like we kind of learn like what kind of prompts people want to provide, or we interview beta users and ask them like what do they want the AI agents to do, and from there we'll learn about it, and then we just add those things to here as well. If the user sentiment is like excited, excited. Maybe ask them to like talk about maybe ask them to kind of review give a review on Apple Podcasts.
That's cool.
So forms is like it's already created a form for us. We can take a look what kind of form we created, and podcast listener feedback. So it's going to ask these questions, and if you're not happy about these questions, we can always, let me see if we can edit here. Yeah, we can always go here and just like remove anything or add any question we want. I think the form looks great. So this is regular Jotform form builder. So I think the questions are great.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. So let's go back, and this is my favorite part. Basically, like instead of using these areas, you can actually talk to your agent and just provide the instructions directly to your agent, as opposed to like giving it prompts or anything. Like you can just have a conversation with your agent and tell it to do something. And right, like what can we ask it to do? Any ideas?
Let's add a question for what has been your favorite AI Rebels guest.
Okay. Make sure to ask them who were their AI Rebels guest. It's thinking a lot, so maybe it's trying to take an action because it can also like change things here. Like it can actually kind of do things for you. I've added little something to my objectives. Now I will be asking users about their AI guests too. Yeah, this looks good.
That's cool.
It's good.
Wow.
It's all good. Okay. So let's see what it added. Maybe it added something to knowledge. I don't see anything. Maybe actions. Maybe persona. Yeah.
There it is.
Ask users who their ARables guess was, but I think it didn't really understand us correctly. So their ARables, like their favorites, right? That was the case. Maybe I wrote it incorrectly. Favorite. Because of this microphone. Favorite guess was. So, okay, we added this question as well, and it's good. Okay, so let's take a look, right? You can actually use AI agents in different ways. You can use them with a link, like you can add it to your web page. You can have a QR. Maybe you have a flyer that you want to add a QR code where they can actually chat with. And you can embed it on your website. You can actually have like this,
Wow.
talk to the agent by phone, and you can also give people this mobile app where they can actually install this PWA app on their computer and then talk to the agent. Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, so it's actually asked the question right away. Who was your favorite guest on the first question? So it's actually I want to give feedback, get info about the podcast. Okay, so basically, it's also asking me these initial questions. Let's take a look at the agent. Let's open it in a new tab. So here we are talking to Lila. Right. Yeah. Let's ask some questions. Right. Get info about the podcast. Yeah. Okay. This is good. So it's also giving us some, feedback. Yeah, I can provide some feedback. Okay. Yeah, sure. It's asking if I want to fill out the form, like just answer those questions. Yeah, I'm taking Tank. So I provide an email address. Oh, incorrect email address. Let's see if it's going to catch that. It's actually, we were actually catching that. And it's actually, there is a way to kind of also go back to the form. So it had a problem catching the name, but like I can just, maybe just not submit it, but just change it. Okay. So my own episode, maybe.
Perfect.
Yeah, 5 stars.
Definitely 5 stars.
Yeah. It was me. I like my own voice. What can be improved? I don't know. It's all good.
Bring you back on.
Yeah. I should be back. I should be back when we release the product.
Perfect.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe.
No. Yeah, it's great.
Wow, this is amazing.
And then, I can do a review. It actually missed my name here. And let's see if it missed anything else. And submit.
That's so cool.
So basically, my submission, my form was submitted, but I can continue to ask my questions and communicate with the agents. So this is, I'm gonna stop sharing, and yeah, this is
Wow.
This is how it works.
I'd be curious, what was kind of the trickiest part of this product to build?
Yeah, it's. I think the trickiest part was to kind of switch between different modes, like between form filling experience and answering questions or taking actions. So it's hard to kind of decide, for example, if it's filling out a form, should it actually kind of like not context switch to different things, but just stay on the tasks. So just I would say it's just basically like this. Maybe even though we see a single agent, there's actually a kind of like multiple agents behind. So
Yeah.
basically, the agent that's responsible for filling out forms is a different agent, and the agent that's like answering questions is different. Like the agent and taking actions, it's not really different, but it's also like it uses tools as well. Like just so it's there is like different things it does. So making sure catching those things is important. So that was the tricky part, but it's it's kind of it's also about like building a good product is also about like kind of working with people, right? Getting people to use this product. So basically, we have beta users, and with their permission, we are actually watching all these sessions, and we are learning from these sessions. Like
Okay.
and we are seeing like the AI is making all kinds of errors. So, and it's never going to be 100%, I don't think, because AI, it's like it's just like how people can, like, it's never perfect. AI is never going to be
Yeah.
perfect, but we, as long as we keep getting better and better, I think that's good enough. And people understand that. People see this as like similar to like people make mistakes, and AI also makes mistakes. So you cannot have an AI that can do so much and so smart and also not make mistakes. It's impossible. It's part of the part of part of the kind of being able to perform tasks for humans. It's very confusing. It's very complicated, complex things. So it's basically like we are trying to like get many people to use the product, and while they use the product, like we see all the problems, we fix those problems and try to get to like at least 99% of accuracy, and do
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
people want, and just talk to people who use the product, like interview them and find out like what they like about it, what they don't like about it. Some people actually want it to be 100%. Some people want, I cannot use this,
Yeah.
I cannot
Yeah.
give this to customers if it's not 100%. I understand that.
And you're like, then
And
stop hiring humans
yeah,
because
but even those people, they say, I'm actually going to give this product to my salespeople, so that when they're talking to the customer, they are going to be able to like, sound like junior salesperson, like someone is asking a question on the other line,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
they're typing the question to AI, and then the AI giving an answer, and then they are repeating the answer to the real customer.
Totally.
Like, so there are like different kinds of use cases, like, but most people, it's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be 100%. 99% is okay, and people understand. And there's also having some human in the loop, like just people
Yep.
seeing these conversations. Like, we send an email. This, like, when this conversation ends, like usually, like maybe if I leave the browser open, it's just we're just gonna wait for half an hour and then send it to the owner of this agent. Or if someone leaves, then we send it instantly. Or you can just go to your conversations inbox and just even see like live conversations happening. And then we haven't implemented that, but maybe you can just join the conversation and then take over from the AI and start talking with the actual customer client
Yeah.
yourself. So
Wow.
basically, having some human in the loop, giving AI feedback. I think it's just like we have to have that. Otherwise, it's just like AI is not going to get the job done at the
Right. Right.
Yeah.
first time. But if you keep giving feedback, if you keep improving, like just adding all these like actions, knowledge, answers.
Hmm.
Also with the knowledge, another challenge we had was like people were adding like too much knowledge, like they were, and then the it AI wasn't able to answer them. So we actually implemented this RAG solution to be able to like just implemented the database to be able to kind of
Oh,
better
interesting.
instruct AI to be able to answer the question, and that made a big difference.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just people use it and we learn from it and improve it.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I'm curious, do you anticipate this becoming the main product, the main idea behind Jotform going forward?
I do, because I imagine that feature where uh, instead of like just doing these like very using this rigid software, or like just filling out these rigid forms, like what if every organization, every person, every business has like their own agents,
Yeah.
where like in the middle of the night, right, I can just like I want to talk to you know a school, or like an organization or a business, and I have a question, right? I don't need to talk to a human, right? Just I can call them up, or I can just go to their website, go
Hmm.
to the chat bot, and just talk and get answers, and maybe buy something and learn about it, and just maybe set up something for myself. So basically, this also like kind of democratizes things for small businesses.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So in
definitely.
the past, like at this, big business, they can always, have hundreds of software developers, or like, hire these big companies like SAP, or, other products, and then they can just like build a product that people can use to do things. But with the AI, it's just, they can just like maybe talk to the AI. Okay, this is what I need, and this is
Hmm.
what I need to do for my customers. I have hundreds of customers, thousands of customers, right? Get this done for me. And then the AI can actually get it done for them. And it's just like
Yeah.
levels the,
Hmm.
ground for everyone. And then like it makes small business like scale much easily. Like they can actually,
Yeah, it's
do things
amazing.
at scale, even with like, you have this corner store, and then you can still scale to, large number of customers. Yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing that. I mean, it's been so fun on the podcast to see these one-person corporations that have, like, we had the CEO of Julius AI on, and they at the time, now they've grown a little bit, but I think they had, what do they have? 5 employees, Spencer?
Yeah, I want to say they had 5 employees and like
With like
500,000 monthly
500,000
users.
users?
Just,
Crazy.
Yeah.
just
And it
mind-boggling.
really is, AI is making it possible. It's making these, like I liked the way you said it's democratizing this power of scalability for these companies. And it sounds like Jotform is going to kind of be the means of doing that. That's incredibly exciting.
Yeah. It's really exciting.
Wow. Um, so are you scared about, it sounds like it's all exciting at Jotform. Is there anything that you're scared about related to AI?
I mean, in the very long term, obviously, we are all scared. AI taking over everything, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
right.
we are just gonna, we are just gonna left with nothing to do, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So I think that's a very long term feature. I don't see that like that big of like I they talk about AGI and things like that. There's some truth, but it's like it's just like even if you develop AGI, it's just going to be like another person, right? It's just going to be
Yeah.
a very smart person or a very smart business, right? So it's just it's not going to be this like Skynet kind of thing. I think that's of course obviously that's still a possibility, but I think it's very long term. But in the short term, I'm really excited. I'm really optimistic because it's just this democratizes software. This makes software so much more flexible. Everything is so much more flexible. Like it doesn't have to be software, right? Maybe robots can actually also do things for us, like physical robots as well. They're going to be able to like do lots of things for us.
Mhm.
So it's just because we are going to be able to do so much more. I think we are going to be able to like everyone is going to be benefit from this as well. Like just if you think about it, like if we haven't moved to like driving cars, if we were still like horseback riding,
Yeah,
uh, it's just some people would lose jobs, from driving horse carriers maybe, but if you look at it, it's actually it you know created more jobs. People
yeah,
are doing things. So I think more boring jobs are going away, but more exciting jobs are coming. And people are saying it's maybe this is because educated people, they might be more lucky. Maybe people who are not uh, that do like more physical stuff. They may lose jobs, right? People talk about it, but if you think about it, they are also gaining so much power, right? There are people who are doing like physical things. Now they are actually kind of they have more tools. They have maybe they use robots, they instruct robots, so they're also managing, right? So instead of doing things, we are kind of becoming managers of AI. and this means that everyone is doing much more than before. So that's why I'm optimistic, but I don't know anything, about the very long term future. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to quickly touch on something you said because it aligns well with something that previous guests have said, which is you mentioned that we've already had really smart corporations before. And a point that a previous guest, Aidan McLaughlin, made, you guys should go check out that episode, by the way, quick plug for that episode. He made the point that we've already been dealing with super intelligences for a long time in the form of corporations, right? Like these massive hive minds, essentially, all working towards, a common goal are really very, very comparable to what AI is going to be. I mean, you pointed out yourself, Aytekin, that the agents that you're working with at Jotform are really, kind of a swarm of different agents, all dedicated to a different purpose. It's going to be really interesting to see how that evolves and how that evolves in concert with corporate structures, on the human side.
Yeah.
Like, are we going to have
if you think about it, corporations are not bad. Like, it's we have all these great things because the corporations are making all these great products for us. So hopefully AI is going to be similar in a similar way. It's going to do so many great things for us, and we are going to have much comfortable lives.
Yeah. You said something, and I think this is a big fear of people that their job will be gone with AI. But I guess two thoughts. One, if people just take a page out of Jotform's book, you're disrupting your own industry, right? You're taking a step back. You're saying, all right, Pandora's box is open. AI's here. It's not going anywhere. We're not going to stick our head in the sand. Like, what does this mean for us? And let's beat it before we're disrupted. Let's disrupt ourselves. And that on a smaller scale to an individual is the mindset you need to have if you want to evolve and, I mean, really have such a larger impact in the world. You need to take a step back, say, okay, here's my job, here's what I'm doing. Okay, how is this going to be disrupted? And let me beat that. Let me disrupt myself now, choose to do it and do it my way, then wait for someone to come in and say, hey, you're fired. Like so that's huge. And then also I just don't know if it's ever going to get to the point where humans are not involved or sitting on their hands. Like I just think I'm bullish on humanity and our ability to adapt. If you think throughout time how we've adapted, I'm becoming more and more an advocate of just like we're gonna figure it out. This is
we
not the
keep moving
first
to
upheaval
higher
we've
levels of thought?
experienced. Yeah,
I think more
exactly.
people will become entrepreneurs. So, for example, let's say there's this small business. The founder, owner has like 5 employees. Let's say, the owner is able to replace these employees with AI, right? So they are more productive. They are available 24 hours a day, like 7 days a week,
Right.
during the holidays. But these 5 people, they also have the power of AI. So they are also becoming like entrepreneurs, and they are, their own businesses. So it means actually like we are creating much more value for the humanity. And so everyone actually has everyone is providing much better services, products to everyone else. So now we are always like going up and up and up, and just instead of doing this like boring jobs or like just like manual tasks, we are actually we are all becoming entrepreneurs. We are all becoming managers of AI, and like creating these services. And I think that's like the number of entrepreneurs are gonna just boom because of AI, because people will be able to like come up with ideas and then like just be able to implement those ideas much more easily with AI.
As we're getting to the end here, I had a question for you, and this one's slightly tangential, but I'd be curious to hear: have there been any? Because, like I said, I'm a web developer by training, so I work with a number of different Jotform and Jotform alternatives in my day-to-day work. I'd be curious, have there been any features from competitors that you've seen that have motivated you to build this? Or do you, as far as you can tell, are you guys kind of the first form building company in this space?
No, actually, so before Jotform, like when I first started, right? The question about the early days of Jotform when we just started out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, so I needed forms, but I couldn't find a product that could help me. Like there were like some products that really didn't work well, but there was also SurveyMonkey, but it was good, but it could only do surveys.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's just I had to start from scratch and build this product. So it wasn't there wasn't a good product for me to be able to use, and that also, like as an entrepreneur, as a startup founder, like it's a great way to kind of find an idea is if you're actually doing something, and if you cannot find a product that can help you with, right, you have your own pain, and from that pain you can actually learn, like come up with startup ideas. I think that's one of the great ways to find startup ideas.
I like that.
Yeah, I love that. And maybe one last question as we're wrapping things up that we always like to ask is, particularly with guests like you, Aytekin, where you are the CEO of the 700-person international organization and you're getting into AI now, what advice would you give to someone listening to this show that one is either scared of AI, what advice would you give them, or someone who is thinking of starting a company, thinking of getting into the AI space as an entrepreneur?
So before I started my, like when I graduated college, I was kind of I wanted to build my own startup, but I was kind of scared. Like I wasn't ready for it. Like I didn't have the confidence to start my own business, and I'm glad I didn't, because I didn't know so much. So I worked for the media company for 5 years, and that actually kind of taught me lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I think that is really important. But also, while I was employed there, I took the time to kind of read everything I could find about like startups. I was reading all the blogs I could find. I was kind of reading all the books I could find on the topic. And also like I was like developing these like small products, like just releasing them and learning from them. And
Mm-hmm.
none of them became successful, but building those side projects, uh, you know, taught me lots of
Yeah.
lessons about marketing, about building a product, about technology, about sales, customer support. So I think it's important to dive in, just do something, and learn and do something. Even if it's not successful, you're gonna learn a lot. And you fail, you try something else. So I don't recommend like quitting your job at that point. I only quit my job because I knew that like this product was really it could be successful. Like I was
Yeah.
sure of that,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually had that confidence at that time to quit my job. But so it's just about like just keep growing, keep learning,
Yeah.
and then you will know it when it's time to just go full time on your startup. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I love that. And I just, I'm so grateful you came on, Aytekin. This has
Yeah.
been great.
Thank you
Is
for
We
there,
having
would
me.
love to have you again
yeah,
once the product is out.
yeah, that would be fascinating to see how it goes.
Yeah, sure.
Is there anything, Aytekin, that you would like to share or say before we wrap up that we haven't asked or that you think would be important for our listeners to hear?
Yeah, so if you want to get into the wait list, it's jotform.com/AI. And you can maybe get early access and try playing with the product. And it's just we are just improving it every day. So it's not going to be, it may be very different than what you have seen today.
Yeah.
But just you can also contact me on LinkedIn or Twitter, or like just my website, aytekintank.com. There's a contact form, and there's also AI agent there as well.
Perfect.
And just shoot me an email if you have any questions or if you need anything. Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I think that you're
Great.
the first guest we've had come on from a traditional non-AI business who's doing a pivot like this, and it's really exciting to see. I mentioned to Jake earlier this year that I thought that we were going to start getting guests like you coming on where there were pivots happening, and so it's really exciting to see.
We're going to see more of it.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on and reaching out to us.
We'll stay in contact. Thanks,
Thank
Aytekin.
you. Thank you.